Welcome to Bryant and Baden. And my special guest today is my own partner, Michel Bryant.
Well, thank you. So good to be here.
As you may have heard, OJ Simpson, of OJ Simpson fame, murdered two people, according to the civil jury back in California back in the 90s, a case that they now teach in law school, I understand. He died yesterday of, they say it's prostate cancer, but he was infamous. But he didn't get convicted of the murder. In the civil case, they found him liable. But he did get convicted in Las Vegas, Nevada, of an armed robbery and spent 9 years in prison. But you know what? Before he was convicted, our tenacious Michel Bryant got the last interview with him before he went off to the Hooskow. Michael, talk to me.
Yeah, I was hanging out with me and OJ. We were like this. This guy is a very friendly dude. As I've said, he was the nicest killer I ever met. I don't care what happened in the criminal case. I watched it. You watched it. I have my own opinion. But he is a gregarious, fun-loving guy. And if you start a conversation about his favorite topic, OJ, he's in. What about that game where you did this? What about that? How are your knees? He had double knee replacement. So for the weeks that he was on trial in Las Vegas for the kidnap robbery, we got to know one another as best you can under those weird circumstances. So when I asked him one day, a Friday afternoon, what's going on this weekend? What are you doing? He says, well, hang out with my friends, family. I'll go to church on Sunday. I went, oh, church, eh? So I worked him to find out where it was. And then I think at a certain point, he kind of knew I'd be stalking him. So I asked him what service it might be, because every church has a number of services. And he told me, I think it was 10. And I said, I'm not going to 10. I'll tell you that. So I go at 8:30 and he's already in there. So he's toying with me a little bit, but he very easily could have just said, I don't need to talk to you, and blown right past me, right? We are in the middle of his trial. But he's not that kind of guy. He sees it as an opportunity, and he kind of created his own, false narrative, like, oh, I didn't know he was going to be there. It just kind of happened. He kind of protected himself, so maybe his attorneys wouldn't get upset. I'm sure they were very upset. But that's how it happened. I met him on the way out of the church. I said, you got a minute? Oh, sure. And we shot it. So the thing was about it that, as you, Linda, I'm an officer of the court, and I'm an officer of the court before I'm a reporter.
Right,
and I believe in the process. I'm not going to be either held in contempt or feel like I had some impact on an ongoing felony trial because, I'm the ace reporter and I got to ask the questions that might jeopardize that process. So I didn't. So it's kind of an interesting interview. It's not a hard-hitting, edgy, didn't you do this? Didn't you? It's more like, what's going on? How do you feel? I heard you singing in the hallway of the courthouse the other day. What's going through your mind? So it was revealing in that sense, but even more in retrospect now. That was in October of 2008. Now we're 15 plus years later. He was in prison for 9 years. And by the way, he was convicted 3 days after that interview. And From that interview, you get no sense that he had a care in the world. But maybe that's what happens when you beat a double murder rap. I don't know. He was just able to totally compartmentalize what was hanging over his head from his day-to-day reality.
Well, you know what? I want our viewers to watch that interview in full by our own Michel Bryant of Bryant and Baden. Here it is.
I'm a child of God.
When I spotted OJ through the bars of the loft above his pew at the Remnant Ministries Church in Las Vegas that Sunday morning, I was only mildly surprised.
Good morning.
He and I had been talking in the courthouse hallways every day for weeks during his robbery trial.
Hey, OJ! Hey, what's up?
OJ Simpson is very social. He loves to talk about his all-American exploits in college, his double knee replacement surgery, small talk.
Is it feeling a little like Groundhog Day?
He is easily the nicest killer I've ever met. As we approached the weekend, he mentioned to me that he just might be at this particular church on this particular Sunday. He even suggested he'd be at the 11 o'clock service. Thinking this was all too easy, I showed up at the earlier service just in case, and there he sat. When he saw me waiting for him in the church lobby, he smiled as if to say, "Damn, I thought I fooled you about the service I'd be at." But he wasn't upset, he wasn't trying to avoid me, and he wanted to talk.
You got a test on me?
So here it is, the uncut conversation, the only one he's allowed in nearly 20 years and possibly his last. OJ chatting away like a God-fearing man, happy to be out and enjoying a little spiritual fellowship without a clue what was about to happen to him.
Let me ask you how important your faith is these days.
Well, it's not just these days. My faith has been important to me my whole life. You know, I grew up in the Evergreen Baptist Church in San Francisco, and the Lord has been the basis of my life. He's been good to me. You know, He helped me overcome so many things in my life. You know, as a kid, having bone problems with my legs, to go on to be an All-American and an All-Pro. I mean, I don't think that could have happened without my mother's prayers and without the Lord in my life.
In the courthouse the other day, in the hallway, you're singing "Oh Happy Day." Tell me about that. What spurred that?
I always, I got a couple of songs that most people who know me, I always whistle the song from Wizard of Oz, and I saw they mentioned that in court, and "Oh Happy Day" is, it's kind of keeps my spirits up sometimes, because sitting in that courtroom listening to things can get a little wearing at times. So I kind of sing little religious songs that gets my heart up a little bit, keeps me positive.
What's your connection with Randall?
To be honest, I got a picture Randall reminded me of it the other day. Of Randall, I had a picture. It might have been in that room, for all I know. But Randall's sitting on my knee when he was about 10 years old, when I recruited his brother up in Santa Barbara, Sam Bam Cunningham. So I've known the family for many years. And, here in Vegas, since I have to be here a few months, I needed a church to go to. In Miami, Nicole was raising my two young kids Catholic. So we rotate. 1 week we go to a Catholic church for them, then next week a Baptist church for me. Yeah.
So how are you doing?
Doing fine. My sister's in town this week, and my other sister is coming in later this week. Many of my friends have been coming, and the people of Vegas are tremendous. I mean, I've made many, many friends since I've been here, and everywhere I go, everybody's encouraging and says stay positive, and it's been very, very, very encouraging.
You're keeping the faith.
Of course, I'm keeping the faith.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.